Overland Park and struggles to keep his score under 100 on the golf course.
Absolutely.
When Kerry is not helping his wife, Debbie, with her business, Bellamisa, is that how you pronounce it? Bellamisa. He is traveling to Manhattan, Kansas to bring beer money to his kids at K-State.
Absolutely.
Kerry is delivering speech number 1, his icebreaker, out of the Competent Communicator Manual. The title of his 4 to 6 minute speech is A Little Something About Me. Help me welcome Kerry.
The icebreaker speech has been almost 6 weeks. This is a packed house too. Wow. So I thought, the icebreaker is kind of like there's a couple things. One, it's an icebreaker into the manual, but it's also an icebreaker into the group here as being as the new guy here. So I figured I'd spend just my 5 to 6 minutes telling you a little bit about myself. So I thought, what would be a great topic to talk about? I thought, what's the one attribute that I'm most proud of that would be applicable to being in a group like this? I think the one thing that I'm most proud of is that I see people as people, and I look past their economic level, background, race, and I'm pretty proud of that. I think it would be good for being in a group like this. So I learned that as a kid growing up, as a boy. So as an adult, I've spent 20 years in Kansas, but I grew up in California. Raise your hand if you've been in California any time at all. So you guys, a lot of people have been there. You guys realize it's probably one of the most environmentally diverse states in the whole country, right? I mean, there's deserts, there's farmland, there's mountains. But what's California known for, Lisa? The beaches, right? So as a kid, I was able to grow up on the beach, and it was bodacious. I'm telling you, it was pretty cool. There's a town you may have heard of called Newport Beach, just south of Los Angeles. It's probably one of the most affluent towns in all of America. I mean, it's a haven for millionaires and movie stars. It's a great town. Well, I didn't grow up in Newport Beach. I grew up in a town next to Newport Beach called Costa Mesa. So as a single mom family, we lived there because we couldn't afford to live in Newport Beach, right? So living in this town next to it had this, yachts and mansions and $100,000 cars. It was a clear culture clash. I mean, to be next to that city, but you wouldn't think the kids from Newport Beach could interact with kids from Costa Mesa, but we did. And what brought us all together was the beach. Being at the beach was cool because when you're on the beach, you were literally stripped down. You had your shorts on, flip-flops, and that's it, right? Nothing else mattered, right? So when you're in the water, we all love to surf. So being in the water was cool because it didn't matter what kind of car you had or the job your parents had. What mattered was being in the water and being in the beach. And so when you're out there together, if you imagine out there, you're out in the surf, getting ready to surf in the waves, there's a hierarchy out there about who can get the next wave. It's all based on your skill set and your experience. The guys who were the old surfer dudes were the first ones to get on a line. And so it was very competitive to get the waves out there. But we also had to collaborate together because you had to work. You learned a lot about life because you had to survive on your own out there for the waves, but you also had to kind of work together because you didn't want to jump in at the same time because those fins in the back of those surfboards can hurt you, right? So growing up as on the water, I wasn't a very good surfer. I admit that today. But I learned to appreciate those who were good. I mean, to watch somebody else jump on a great wave and ride it all the way to the beach, it's truly magical. It's a great experience. So when you're in the water and you're in the beach together, at one point you have to come out of the water because the Newport Beach is very popular, very crowded, and you can't have surfers in the same time with the swimmers. So the black ball would come up by the lifeguard stand, and the black ball flag meant surfers out of the water. So we all come out of the water together at the same time, and we'd all be one group together, just a packed group together. We'd spend the afternoon riding up and down the boardwalk. We'd be playing volleyball, telling great stories about the waves we rode or didn't wave or we didn't ride, right? So it was a pretty cool experience to be all in a group together. And the best thing about being on the water together was that you collaborated together, you worked together, you competed together, but you were one group, and we were from all over. We had races from all over. We had different income levels, and it was a pretty great experience. One of the kids that I most admired, his name was Mike, and Mike was one of the better surfers out there. He was really good, and I admired him because we had similar backgrounds. We both came from single-parent families. So his best friend was literally the grandson of John Wayne, the big famous actor. And this kid was really affluent. And the funny thing is, you wouldn't think that Mike and John Wayne's grandson could interact together, but they were great friends together, and that was pretty common for our group of surfers because we weren't we weren't guys that, I didn't see people as labels, or we were just people out in the water who loved to be on the surf and enjoying time together in the sun. And it taught me a lot about how I view the world today, and I still learn those things. So now as an adult today in Kansas, I still share the love of the ocean, and I still carry those things that I learned on the beach together as a man. Thank you.